Can we survive 100 days living in plain sight on ARK official PvP? Well, that's what me and Captain Fat Dog challenged ourselves to not only build the most obvious hidden bunker base without needing a single turret the entire time, but actually progress enough to unlock tech tier by beating multiple bosses, travel across every map and raid that many bases we would never grind a single metal run. Not only that, but live out longer than any other tribe on the map and become an alpha's worst nightmare. And all the whilst never taming a single pyromane because, well, them fiery OP cat. I mean, we hate them. So day one kicks off like any old sweatfest, right? Because you need levels to be competitive in any PvP scenario. So a note run, lots of it. Getting notes, running into bobs, killing a few bobs, killed one or two of them. And we go meet Cap on Australia to get ourselves prepared, craft some simple gear, then go looking for a temporary base location and parkour our way up a mountain. With a decent spot found for now, we have to kill a Rex to mark our territory, throw up a temporary base and get farming metal by the bucket load. Then Cap gets killed by a dude on a pyro. That's going to happen a lot during this playthrough. After a run-in with a PT dude that tried to attack Cap and we almost killed him, but he got away, damn you.
Nice, nice, nice.
Fired him.
Nice.
Fired me.
Well, my ball is almost done.
Catch on me. I was going for the knockout. That's dead. He got away. He got away.
He got away. I had no ball. Is that what trouble?
Always carry bowlers.
He's up there, isn't he? I can see him. Is that him up there?
We bagged ourselves a Taparara, a PT and a Microraptor and went out hunting for Meguanas. In no time at all got the mats needed to make a cryofridge out of a drop, and with our trusty Meguanas go loot farming because that's the way to easily get resources on Australias. Saw some dudes on a boat for a bit of a light introduction, ran into another that left weak loot and a loot drop and bugged the hell out of me, so I asked him to go back and do it, but he wouldn't listen to me. I ran into a dude on an RG that tried to pick me, but, you know, Meguana's a bit more quicker than an RG, so couldn't do that. And found a half metal base, had a few explosive devices on us, just not quite enough, but turns out they work without being connected, but we really needed C4. But with so much collected with our Meguanas now, we needed more storage space, so had a plan, went and farmed fungal wood, and then used that to make fish baskets to trap a bunch of trilobites, and then stored our loot on those for some hidden secret storage. When I made some C4, and then off to that base that we saw earlier, but we'd already been beaten to it because somebody had blown through first. And then that archer dude we saw earlier jumped me at a drop, or his friend did, to humble me on the Meguana and thinking I was safe on that. Oh, I've been picked! Oh, you bum.
Oh, come on. Pretty far away then.
Oh!
You good?
You got me, you got me, you got me.
I'm on my way. I'm just going to be a little while.
I got me again! I'm dead, I'm dead. God damn it!
No.
That's why he was waiting. Balls, he had a duo with him. So target one tribe of backers that we seeked out to get revenge on, looking for their base. Found another one whilst flying about on our PT, but we'll touch on that later. And then found their base with the RG trying to come out and pick us, but we picked them up instead and took them on a little journey.
See you, chump.
With a bit of back and forth there, with the rest of their tribe coming over and eventually outnumbering us, we got a very sweet barrel roll killing and then moved off to check out that base we saw earlier. Thinking we could raid it whilst Cat prepared everything whilst I continued to scout it, we noticed the dude come out of his base and fly around, and as Cap got back, saw him at a drop, so went for the kill, buying us the time for me to lure the RG away with him trying to get the RG back, and then me just trying to keep him distracted at all times while Cap tried to blow into his base. And then some random Bob came over, ruined the raid, killing Cap in the process. I tried to help him, knocking him off with a Maywing and getting away with what I can, but the dude came back to see his base in ruins, in which we said hello with a belly flop with a Maywing. But hey, we got a little prisoner for the day, knocking him out and throwing him in a cell as we went to bed and wondered what the next day would bring. Our little makeshift base got offlined overnight, was to be expected, but the trilobites survived, so with the loot we got in that, Cap went and built a very cheeky hidey base, with the top looking like it had been a previously raided base, but secretly underneath in a very tiny compartment, plenty of secret storage for us to get working with smithies, mortar and pestles. And I wonder if anyone was actually going to find this and you'll see what happens. But first things first, we really needed some levels to get heavies at level 100. So first thought was to go and get wyvern eggs because wyverns give great levels and didn't really get a lot there. So we go do a few loot drops with the Maguana instead to set up a few more ideas. Went and saw that Bacchus was still running surprisingly. And went and grabbed ourselves some more wyvern eggs for later. Cap went and tamed a bunch of PTs while we went taming Archelons because Archelons make algae and algae's a great source of taming food for herbivores. And a stego that Cap had found, a decent high level tech stego, well found a bunch of tribes fighting over it. So we went in for a bit of PvP.
Oh, I'm stuck in the stego. I'm stuck in the stego. No. Oh, I got stuck inside the stego. See if you can whistle my Maywing. That is so annoying. What is this? I bowled the guy off and then the stego came on top of me.
Oh my god. Oh, he stopped me. What the hell? Maguana's dead. So backed away from that one feeling a little bit underprepared and decided we need way more wyvern eggs for leveling, so prepared ourselves to pop over to Scorched Earth. In preparation within our bunker, somebody came over to the base whilst we were hidden under there, so told each other to shush and just wait for that right moment to pop out and kill him. And to be fair, this made us realise how careful we had to be with anybody coming over to the base, and maybe next time wouldn't be a bright idea to pop out and attempt to kill him. But luckily we managed to get this dude, and luckily for us, he didn't figure out where we came from.
Right, go now. Now's your chance.
I'm trying. I can't move.
If he starts making noise, then right, you go.
I'm going.
I'll stay here.
I see him.
I hope he's not wigged. What's going on?
Yeah, he hasn't twigged. I've got no gear on me, mate. I'm naked, man.
Right, I'll come up, shall I?
Yeah. I've got him distracted. I can attempt to bowler him. I just need some gear, man.
Swallowed him.
Nice.
Here somewhere.
Yeah, you're in there somewhere.
Yeah.
He's got a gun. I'm so naked. I can't. He's dead.
Nice.
Seeing a 150 quets that we consider taming, but maybe later we head off to Scorched Earth to get some wyvern eggs, throwing down a cryo fridge at a spawn location and get hunting for eggs. But you know, PvP is PvP, and one of us was eventually going to get picked, right? So making a quick area to store any eggs, we kept bombing it back and forth on our Maguana to pick up as many eggs as we could, whilst Cap set up a way to hatch the eggs whilst waiting. Bagged ourselves the holy grail, especially on Scorched Earth, a 190 wyvern egg. But then the game disconnected us whilst we were out wyvern egg farming, so upon logging in, saw that we died. Not happy about that. But it happened, and we're back to being naked on Scorched Earth, so went and tamed a raptor to get on my feet and run a few drops whilst we were waiting to hatch some eggs. We hatched, we killed them with a bunch of explorer notes, got a bunch of levels, just not quite enough to hit the magic 100, but close enough, so headed back to Australia and thought maybe we can tame that quets now. So we break down all of the elevator platform parts that we had gotten out of drops earlier and use the metal from those to make a zeppelin and go looking for the quets, but can't find it now. So we sack that idea off for now and go and find some new Maguanas, because we need new Maguanas, and go running a wealth of drops to set us up further. After finding a base full of loot and raiding that after storing it in our bunker, somebody actually came over there whilst we were underneath. So once again, it was deafening silence whilst we waited for them to leave. Oh, flipping heck. Found a bunch of loot on a pyro and started taking all the resources back to base, then realised why don't I just make a grinder with all of the mats at this base, so then went and farms the extra resources needed like poly, oil and crystal, and we got so close! But then noticed somebody had robbed some of the metal out of this base as we were going back and forth, so we got what we could and took it all back to base. With a brand new upgrade to our secret bunker, with Cap placing a vault now that would be able to hide a fridge and a cryo fridge underneath, and a bit of space management to make sure we were using the area effectively. We set up a grinder on a raft and threw up a toilet next to it, get a bit of poop XP and then get grinding stuff to make levels there, but still not quite as much as we needed, but at least we could get green drops now, so went and set up a chem bench 2 on the raft and then went out looking for charcoal from raided bases. Popping over to see if Bacchus was still knocking about, we found a 140 quet, so after scavenging whatever leftovers were in Bacchus's raided base, we went and tamed the quets because this was going to be our way to get breeding. After a good scout around looking for more bases to raid, we found a few storing some chunks of metal ingots and charcoal and took all that back to base, and found that that solo dude that we hit the other day, TTZ, had expanded and was setting themselves back up, expanding pretty heavily in the north. But then found Bacchus once again, I guess starting over again after they'd just been raided on a raft. The guy tried to be friendly, but remember how they first said hello to us in the first place, so we didn't mess about killing them. And then found a decent base on Lava Island surrounded by turrets, but unfortunately turrets that had been soaked, so a bit too late to that one, but a bunch of mats hidden within, so grabbed all of that to take back to base. And then found a new tribe with a turret raft that we thought maybe we could have a pop at. Move. I just landed.
Jump away.
Jump away?
No, just get. Oh, I don't know. Oh, he's moving. Oh no. Get. Oh no.
Go on. Are we good?
No. He drove the raft.
Ah. Take the babies. Get the babies. Yeah. Go. Go. Archie's on you. You gotta go. Ah, mate. Alright. Well, we got a bad guy out of it. That'll do. The C4 plan failed and Cap at least stole some Maguana babies, so a bit of a win there, then thought up a new idea. What if Cap boxed them in with a raft? So we did just that whilst we tried to snipe them and then get in deep with rockets, and well, it didn't go exactly to plan. So we said, screw it, let's bring a turret raft, which worked. They all died and we chased them down to blow their boat to smithereens and get a bunch of loot there. And speaking of loot, when I ran the lava cave, good grief, the insane quality in this cave is insane. So a new day, new ideas. We went and farmed cactus for propellant because you need that to make flame arrows, and once Cap got on, we went out exploring and found a 150 Maguana. What the hell? Whilst chasing that, we found Bacchus once again. Hello there. Noticing that they've got their own turret raft and decided to knock out a player whilst taming our Maguana. Found our first on footage green drop. We found one earlier that had 150 element in. And unfortunately, you're going to have to believe me about this one because I've got no footage about this, but you'll see later on that we do find element in these drops. Sadly, this one didn't have any element in it, but went to tame ourselves a Narthro, and en route found that turret boat by Bacchus was actually parked pretty close to our base, so tested the turrets that did shoot at us, but the player came out to snoop around and didn't really notice me and thought, well, maybe we might have a crack at this. So we went back over there with our turret raft, and a cheeky way to block turrets with a wooden raft that prevents their turrets from shooting, whilst we got busy with an Arthro, and good grief, loot for days. The entire Bacchus army, all in one raft with everything they own, cryos, pyros, so much to get us on our feet. And of course, with everyone logged off, had to cut their hair to give them the signature hairdo. With that boat blown, we were conscious it was time to really now hit level 100, so headed to Extinction this time, needing to set up a cryo fridge somewhere safe to meet, and got a bit nervous about where to spawn, but all well and done, got our Maguanas out and went to get a bunch of 4x and 2x notes, and then went and killed Spinos with compound bows. And then before leaving, thought, well, let's have a quick scout of any bases around here and found a very cheeky base hidden behind the map. Didn't really have much there, but did have a cryo fridge, so reimbursed the one cryo fridge we brought over. And then heading back to Astraias, Cap thought up of a new idea of using a linked storage box whilst we went and tamed a Gigantoraptor, because that's going to help us to breed on the Quets. And then once tamed, realised, oh yeah, we need to raise one to use one, but our plan set in motion as Cap takes it back to the Quets whilst we go farming meat using one of these pyromanes we just raided, and my god, they are so dirt. The shoulder weight, the ability to quickly jump on one at any 1 second, and the fire damage combined makes this an absolutely dirty thing to have on your shoulder, but at least an easy way for us to farm meat for our baby raising. Back to the linked storage that Cap had been working on this entire time. The idea was there, but the sound and effects, well, not so much. So we sacked that idea off, and as I was just about to log off, transferring to my sleeping bag that I had left from that dude we had raided previously, found that he had built a new base, but feeling just a little bit sus. Turned out, turning the Jenny on and off, we could hear a cryo fridge turning on and off. So...
Here we go. We're not going to have enough for this, though.
Oh, no, is it pin?
Yeah, what? Oh, look at the vault. Look at the vault.
Oh, my God.
Let's go.
Yo.
It's nice sniper, another cryo fridge.
Dude, oh, my God. It's all here.
Pre-made black. Here we go. Here we go.
Bloody hell.
Okay, long there.
Oh, there we go. In the cryo, we got... Taking all them cryos. We got new Ankies. We got another Maguada.
Oh, is it unlocked, that?
Yeah, I just got it.
I didn't realise it was unlocked.
Yeah, that's all that was in there for your benefit. So with our Gigantoraptor fully raised now, we could use that to breed up a bunch of creatures, and we did. Went and tamed ourselves a mate pair of stegos, went and farmed a bunch of blue crystallized sap for hazard gear, and noticed our hidden friend had farmed up even more mats, so hit that again for a bunch of easy mats to take back to base. And then it was time for Aberration, with a plan to get ourselves our first tech unlocks. First things first, bag ourselves a Cosmo, so me and Cap jumped in, went and found ourselves some Plant Z, and used the Plant Z fruit dropped from those to go and tame ourselves a pair of Spooders. With that, allowing us to Spooder swing all around Aberration, we get some gas balls from a gas chamber, and we transfer all of that back to Astraias to make a bunch of hazard gear to prepare our journey back on Aberration. But on the way, transferring back out, ran into some dude who tried to attack us, then tried to be cool, and I know, man, not happy that he tried to bite us, and we might be getting some revenge there. But back on Ab, set up a quick 1x1 thing, and then found a dude right below us that surprisingly never knew we was right there above them. And with Cap learning how to Cosmo swing, we thought taking him through the easy artifact cave first, and I mean, it went well, and then there was a tech guy in there that we heard boost around, so bricked it and bombed it out there as quick as we could. But with one artifact down, it was after the second one. I thought, let's go in deep with the one in the hazard zone. Unfortunately, on the way there, Cap died to a bunch of turrets. But luckily, we'd had some practice on doing this before, so got in and out relatively unscathed and ticked off 2 artifacts for our Rockwell fight. With our last artifact to grab on the way, Cap knocked himself out. Took a hot minute to get his gear back, but once gotten, dived into the Shadows Cave, and it turned out to be the easiest Shadow Cave run I've ever done. Don't know what happened. Maybe somebody had cleared it out before we got there. Whatever the case, it was easy. So with all 3 artifacts down, we thought we'd chance it on that guy that was built below us, considering he'd left his door open. And well... Let's get some chibbies.
It's whistling.
No. Oh my god, oh my god.
I'm out. Are you good? Are you good?
I can't get out. I'm stuck. I'm stuck.
I don't know what I can
do. Go.
I'm out.
Oh man.
I couldn't do anything there.
Oh, I just couldn't get out the Ravagers.
I was just imagining that happening as well.
Yeah. Did you get out?
Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, needing to farm the tribute items to summon Beta Rockwell, we thought, well, let's bring the Pyros over because it's a bit easier to move about on these things. And when and killed the Basilisks required for their scales, Drakes required for their feathers, and then forgot how much of a nightmare Megalos can be in the blue zone. But finally done there, it was onto the one that we didn't realise was going to be an absolute issue for us. more than we thought. Reaper pheromone. To getting a bit desperate now, we thought, well, let's go and get a lamprey and we'll quickly swing in and try and lure a Reaper out there. And desperate times, desperate measures. Sometimes those measures don't equate to good measures because death everywhere. Losing one of the pyro mains to PvE and only having one pyro main left, we get a bit desperate and say, screw it. Found a Reaper, Paloviated again, and then going back there, found that the pyro had fell through the mesh, so good times all around there. But with the day getting late and us needing more Cosmos anyway, Cap got off and I thought, well, I'll go for a quick skate around to see if there's any cheeky hidden bases. Turned out there was somebody who was definitely preparing a mega base because they had some fantastic things for us to get kicking off. A great Stego Saddle BP, which will come in handy later. A Dirty Pike BP, a Dirty Sword BP, an Indie Forge, and a Grinder. What the hell? So with the new dawn, it was back to Aberration for more blue gems to get new hazard gear, and on our way to transfer off with the Spino Saddle for a brand new Spino because we needed a Spino on Aberration. We ran into turrets who robbed our only good Spino Saddle, which you'll find comes into play in a bit. So now had to go and farm silica pearls to make our next best with our BP. So attempt 36, we go and find a Reaper down in the depths and lure that one up to a trap at the top. And with Cap shooting it with a Cosmo to keep it busy, ARK decided to screw me and not actually have me where I was. So the game bugged out. And we lost the Spino, we lost me, we lost everything. And then after a bit of calming down, realised we can actually use Maguanas on Aberration. Didn't realise that. So easy mode, bombing it around, finding a few drops to get more tranks. And went and tamed ourselves a few new Spinos each. But then some griefers came over, killed mine, but then Cap killed him whilst I was AFK, so bagged ourselves some decent flak there. And with a new Spino tamed and a few bulb dogs in hand, it was Cap's turn to try and lure a Reaper up. Unfortunately, the alpha of this server was also down there on a Spino, which initially ignored us, but as soon as Cap had brought it up to trap it, they killed him and the Spino. So we're back to being on foot, but had an idea. We trapped it with the Maguana instead and spent ages avoiding nameless megalosauruses, and this tribe kept on rearing their ugly heads every now and then. It dawned on me that Reapers run from Cosmo shots, so thought, well, hang on a minute, if one of us shoots us with the Cosmo, the Reaper's never going to attack us, so we'll do that, and then just kill it with a Maguana. It worked! What the hell? Pheromones! Yay! So with those stored, we went back to Australia to gear up, but with us prepared with 1,000 shotgun shells, cactus broth of course, and any brews we could use for stamina. Could we do it? Turned out we could! Took around 600 shots with an almost max shotgun and Cap shooting the balls with a pistol. But tech unlocks, baby! So to celebrate, remember that wyvern that tried to bite us at drop earlier? Well, we thought we'd celebrate with a raid, popping Rockwell's head on a boat, and then went pokey pokey.
Need some windows on this.
Put a skin on it to see the windows.
I was thinking get that turret. And then,
where is it?
Up to you. What was your plan?
Go on, mate. Yeah, swap. You know what you're doing. I'm just gone.
Did you have a plan?
Get this far?
That one.
Go on, mate. Well, that's their base, isn't it? Oh yeah, that's a pillar. That's their pillar, isn't it? Destroyed an auto turret.
Right, cool.
There it is.
We should be safe to go in now underneath. Should we just... Is that all we needed the ramp for? Think we're good? Come in.
Oh, he's blowed it.
I hear a generator.
Yeah. Where did you blow?
On the left.
Nice. Oh, I hear the jelly suit. Fire in a hole. There's the jelly!
And the lights come down.
Oh, we've got pink coded vaults.
Yeah, that's why I said would need throw.
Ooh, electronics.
There's a bag.
There's a bag.
At the same time.
Oh!
Here we go.
There it is.
Stegos.
Cheeky jackpot. Oh, there we go.
Right. Which one are we looking first? Left one.
Left one first. We got some boops. Oh, nice pike BP.
Black BP's not.
Ooh, G scatters. Grapples. Yeah, that's some grapples, mate. Hang on.
Let's just
Oh, I can't put the grapples in. Yeah. What we got here? And with a wealth of loot raided again and a bunch of cryos, we sealed it off with the signature haircut. Contemplated on our raft back that maybe we needed to start stepping it up with a few online raids. So, we find a new base up in the skies on the cliffside and think, well, maybe we could have a crack at this. But being pretty high up, we think, how are we going to approach this? And Fortnite Towers are Fortnite Towers in ARK, so thought we'd give that a crack and let's have a bit of a laugh. Let's have a crack at these guys online and see how we get on. So we bring out a sniper and, well, get called a butt.
What?
Turrets go up, Cap gets busy, and as Cap's pushing up with his builds, I get busy with a sniper and get called a hacker again. With the salt spicing up, they throw a platform up above us, preventing us from building any further up. But we keep them busy as Cap continues building on, and we're doing pretty well until they ask for help. And peeps come over, and then chaos ensues. Outnumbered and struggling, Cap picking me and losing the Maguana and trying to swing away at a flame of fire. It became a GG, and we thought, okay, we'll go to sleep for now and maybe have another crack tomorrow. Thinking maybe we actually need some tanks to actually raid anyone, we go farming and find a decent level stego and a nice stego BP, which is going to help us out in the future. So after a bit of artifact cave running for even more loot, we get farming a bunch of biotoxin to keep our Archelons alive because they're still producing algae for us. Go and knock out the tech stego and a normal stego with a bunch of shocking darts and run into turrets because that happens in PvP. Often we did it, we ran into them, we died. But luckily we got our gear back, so happy days there. And then noticed we'd lost the hidden raft with the grinder on it to anti-mesh. So luckily we just raided a new grinder from that base on Aberration. So slapped that on a new raft and got busy grinding all our useless saddles for plenty of mats to gather everything needed to load on our RGs and finally make ourselves a tech replicator. Get hatching stegos for imprints and start scoping around for new bases and find a new one built straight on top of Bacchus, who got raided a few days ago, called Tribe of Berry, with one turret in a really bad location. So I mean, it was rude not to, right? Finding an unlocked cryo fridge with a bunch of Rexes in that Cap nabs and bombs it back to base. I blow in as they come back from base and then weirdly disconnected. I'm not sure what happened, but I'm going to take advantage of it. So pike to the face, job done. Both dead, and loot for days. With even more cryos as we finished off the base with an Arthro. And then the Holy Grail gifted to us in the form of a treasure map that we looted from that base, a high flak helmet BP. So now we've finally got a full set of flak. We go scouting some more bases, find a potential base called Tribe of Solo to raid, but then find a 145 female Quetz and think, well, we've got to get that so we can get breeding Quetzals. So we go and get our farming gear before Cap runs into Tribe of Russell out in the wild. So we run over, we get a bit of ground PvP in and flatten one with a Maguana. What's nice to do, enjoy Maguana PvP. And then go knock at the Quetz with our long neck and shocking darts, chasing it around all over the gaff. And then whilst waiting for that to tame, we go hitting drops and find a dude at a drop, go for a bowler and a kill. But they come back as we're attempting to kill their creatures. So an intense chase ensues all over Astraeus, with the dude eventually, I'm guessing, giving up and luring us straight back to his base. Was a grave mistake because carnage ensued. But yeah, it was fun. A lot of belly flopping, a lot of kills.
Oh, look at his little Equus pen and stuff. Don't you feel bad now?
Stop for a minute, stop for a minute, stop for a minute.
Oh, the ball,
He's dead.
He's not.
No,
There must be another guy. There's another guy. Oh, I'm out of stam.
Just went for the pick.
I'm out of stam.
Killed his Maguana. You good? Did help?
Yeah. No, I'm good. Got off edge to get stam.
He's each coming in for the pick for me now.
He's on RG.
Yeah, I see him.
And the other one's just trying to boil her.
Yeah, he's actually dead, man. Here he is.
He's up at top.
Yeah, I see him. He's Archie's dead, man. Oh, I'm gonna die.
Why?
So his Archie hasn't picked. He just died. I just killed him. I just piked him. Is it spawned here?
Oh, pardon beetle.
Pardon beetle.
Got back in to gamma up. Okay. I had a feeling there was going to be another door. Fabricator in here. Rare fridge, pin coded.
Hoi, 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 hoi.
We've got a bag.
Ah.
Oh, an arthro.
Hey, we needed an arthro.
That's a good arthro.
That is a good arthro.
Another breeder. Female stego.
I didn't have much, but we did get a free stego out of it, so happy days there. Went home and get breeded our Quetzals. Knowing we needed better Gigantoraptors, so when they hatch, they actually stay within the saddle, I went and found a 145, so had to be done. Tamed that one and bred that one up whilst Cap had been busy setting up dedicated storage boxes in our bunker now. So after a good loot sort, we'd finally got a space to put all of our arbs. And remind yourself, this is an unprotected underground bunker under a apparently raided base with dedicated storage. Insane. So needing to breed our brand new Quetzals now, we did have a bit of an issue with weight and had to precariously move creatures from one Quetz to another to reduce the weight to be able to make sure they could breed. It worked just about, and Cap set up a tinkering desk for some of our stupid BPs to see if we could downgrade them later. We got hatching some Arthros because we're using them quite a lot now and we needed an imprinted one to do some high melee damage, and get healing our bred stegos with a recently raided snow owl. So with our new tanky imprinted stegos in action, we go back to Russell, get scoping. We can see a dozen heavies all over there, but only 2 underneath the cliff platform. So with a fob built, we go for a Quetz stego combo and go for a rocket rush, but with the Quetz taking a bit too much damage, we go for a boxed Quetz attempt this time around. And then by the time we attempted to rocket rush them, we found out we had just tanked the 2 turrets underneath. So for an Arthro on the Quetz, with it being a ceiling wide build version, and as we got up there, we could literally hear them walking about above us with the Quetz still getting shot. So we have to back up and rebuild. We come back and it seems that they've logged off. So happy days there. We get biting away with our Arthro, but we kind of messed up as they get shot when biting, and Cap dismounts when falling. But all good, we go again and we keep Arthro in it until it's down to the last wire and get some C4 planted. Don't. Oh my god.
Oh.
No, 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 no. It's blown.
Why can I not claim this?
Oh my god, we picked them up. They was on the Quetz. That was on the Quetz, and they just got shot by our turrets. What?
What the hell? Oh, there was a body on there. I've never seen a body.
With the cliff platform blown, we get a Quetz stego combo from above this time. Missed the drop just a little bit, but getting close enough with Argies as a blind spot, we gingerly make our way around to the Jenny with extinguisher grenades and job done. But then pay close attention to this as we're raiding. Somebody killed the Archelons, a new tribe we'd never heard of, and will set course in motion the entire other half of this video. Los Chapitos. But no time for that as we're in the middle of a raid, so get looting and tooting, cryos, loot, a bunch of stuff to get us going for days, and as we start loading up, a chancer comes over. Dude was trying to be friendly, but no doubt in my mind he was trying to get some loot off us as we was finishing off our raid. But, you know, Cat picked him with the Quetz whilst we compound bowed him and got the hell out of there before he came back. So finally with Quetz eggs at the ready now, get hatching those, and we have a play with a tinkering desk to try and halve the mats of our stupid BPs to make an actual possible to craft shotty BP using some Rayman math that Cap had figured out and stable combine, and it worked. We got a lot cheaper BP now, but we really do need more element now, so get hunting for new bases. Whilst we notice in the chat that same Los Chapitos starting to brag they're the new alpha of the map, giving us some ideas as Cap runs into Dale boys that he'd seen once or twice before, getting into some ground PvP, so we bomb over to help and chaos ensues. Followed him. Is that another one? Oh my god.
I volleyed him off.
Nice.
I'm on fire though.
Killed him.
Oh no, I need help, need help.
Come on. Hang on, they're both coming down to you, mate.
I've boiled both of them.
Okay.
Is there someone on that Meguana?
I think it's a neutral, like, dude. My Meguana's looking ropey as well. And notice they eventually run off and think, well, can we find them? Can we find out where they've gone to? And we did. We got them. We scoped them. And we followed them. Gingerly. Stealthily. As we noticed them downloading something from a drop, wondering what it was, we attempted to ambush them, kind of messed up as the pyro ran away with the loot, and we started chasing the pyro all around the shop, trying to bowler the thing, and finally caught up with it, killing them multiple times, and turned out it did have a decent stego downloaded from that drop, so it was about time to step it up, and with the alphas that we knew around Astraeus, King, and Heat, go check him out. But it turns out we were a bit too late. Heat Clan completely wiped, leaving a completely wiped, seemingly huge base up at the top, and King also wiped too, seemingly by Heat Clan, not too sure, but damn, the alpha's gone, which meant, were we the longest standing tribe now on the server? Were we now the alphas of the server? Turns out we weren't, as we went exploring the sea. And who did we find? Las Chapitas. So thinking how we're going to prepare for this raid, I went and tamed a 132 so using our Meguana for it to grab it and quickly easy feed it black pearls, and then use that to kill a 145 alpha Moser to get some levels on it, and then grab a donkey to easily tame that to maybe use for some tanking later. But then Cap got on, and as you know, Cap has these wacky build ideas and decided to make the longest shaft tunnel you've ever seen using foundations from above. And miraculously, the build worked, got us all the way there. We got in, we got all the way right by the base to tech rifle it, and as we're about to, they logged on. We can see them, we're watching them, moving about in our base, and just waited for that right opportunity, and it came. We got the tech rifle out and we took out a vacuum compartment, but with a small gap left for turrets to shoot. Cap tried to attempt to jump through and sadly died, and I tried to bring his body back and accidentally died myself, losing the tech rifle. So with the sparse gear that I had on me, I thought, you know what, let's screw it and chance it, and we did it. We got in, but with nothing on us and internals all around, we were faced with a bit of an issue, especially seeing that they logged on whilst we were in their base. But seemingly none the wiser, we continue hiding in their base as they're moving around and we're scouting out all the loot that they've got, amazed that they didn't see this blown vacuum compartment at any point. But to do any damage, we needed loot, so Cap brought over a bunch of rockets to try and throw up to the vacuum compartment, and it just didn't work. We was a slither away, but we missed it. And then they clocked on. So, you know. So all said and done there, no hidey no more. And obviously now they've clocked on, there's no chance of us doing that again. So we take a break to go to Extinction, where Cap had found a base just previously he wanted to raid. And we go over there to find that base had just been raided, so continue looking around for any other base we can find whilst we're on Extinction. And Cap decides we really do need breeding owls by now, so goes and tames one of them, whilst I find a few dirty hidden bases to blow in for a bunch of dust. And then Cap found a real cheeky base in the sunken forest for a bunch of mats to replenish our lost metal, as well as craft a bunch of things that we needed whilst we're there. So we're heading back to Astraeus to get involved with a bit of ground PvP with a new guy called Batman, who was bragging he was the alpha. Well, we killed him. He wasn't. And then found an X-Plant base to raid, but nothing there. And then found Batman's alpha base. Most definitely the contending alpha at the moment, but with a lost tech rifle and needing Element desperately now to return to Las Chapitas, we needed a new way to get in fast, and I at least thought I'll run the Medusa artifacts to consider that as an option. So in preparation, getting breeding on, we go meat farming for babies on the back of a pyro, find a superbly high level tech wreck, so had to tame that, gotta be done. You gotta tame a high level when you find a high level, right? And then get knocking out a bunch of wyverns for milk so we can get milk to keep our wyverns raising, finding some high level eggs whilst we were at it, and ran into Heat Clan, who just got raided previously the other day, remember? And tried to speak to him to see if it was Las Chapitas who had raided them, but they were happy to see me, so we just bombed it out there and thought, well, seeing that we got a decent tech rex now, let's try and kill a bunch of rexes to see if we could force spawn in another tech rex. No luck yet whilst we're raising more Meguanas. Get leveling our stegos and healing with owls for the next raids to come, and then find another green drop. The Holy Grail. This one, unfortunately, no element yet, but more to come. more green drops to hopefully find as we think, well, maybe if we can't get a Tech Rex, why don't we just go and get Theries? Because Theries are good for Dragon, and we do need to unlock things like vacuum compartments. And while Theries are much smaller, so much easier to raise, especially with berries on the quests too. So find a superbly high level, go tame that, find a decent mate pair, tame that. And then we did find a good mate pair Tech Rex, and in the taming process, it decided to drown. Why do dinos decide to go to the water each and every time we try to tame them? So thinking screw it and just work and focus on the Theries, we get imprinting out raising creatures, go exploring for treasure, finding a max long neck, and then think with all these falling baby issues that we got, we really did need a Dreadmare, so go and find the best level we could. Not too bad, it was okay, and we'll plan to tame that later. With more milk needed for our wyverns, we go bumming it around, getting a few drops, and got into a spot above it with a dude who tried to pick us at a drop, but he wasn't ready for Maguana imprint bite. With the trap set up for our Dreadmare, it was time to tame one of those, and well, the trap didn't work, but luckily we had everything we needed to tame that thing, and no job done. We've got ourselves a moving cryo dino thing that can take babies back up to the quests now. And then found Ivar at a new base location. Remember those guys that we had jumped earlier on and tracked them all the way back to their base? Well, they were online, and it was about time we had a proper online raid. So after some more drop PvP with some dude and a pyro, and getting the final 2 artifacts on the map with our tame Tuzo, we ran into a drop with a much better flak helmet BP. So finally we had a cheap enough to make decent flak set. Dropping it off to Cap, we got busy on the Tuzo, found an archer, killed that with the Tuzo because it's got to be done, and then set up beds at Ivar to get scouting and figure out how we were going to attempt to raid that, whilst Cap built a pokeshaft at King's Wyvern turrets to see if we could get some much needed element there, with a cheeky trapdoor build made and making it quite easy for us to sneak in, C4 down and blow it all, and got a bit of Ellie, not a lot, but a bunch of arbs to store in our new dedicated storage. But at least plenty of shards from these turrets to craft into element to finally make a new tech rifle. So after Cap turreted another wyvern fob for even more arbs, finally clearing out the wyvern nest area from any turrets, and us knowing we could safely go back and forth to get any wyvern eggs we needed now, we returned back to Ivar's base to scout. Cap scouted a bit too close. And seeing that they had stolen Cap's gear, well, we had a legit reason to raid them now. So we get preparing all our raid gear, get working on mats to make a motorboat, and see another green drop. This one, the Holy Grail. There it is, element. You can get them in green drops, and we got one in this one. It was nice, a lot of it. And then Cat found another one straight after for even more elements, so we went from no element at all to enough to see us through for a few days now, and then learn our whole owl healing stego thing that we've been doing this entire time. We never needed to do it. It turns out that cryos heal inside of cryo fridges. Never knew that. Don't know how, don't know why, but I didn't. Now we do. That's a good thing to know. So we level up a bunch of stegos, get saddling up the best ones we've got, get making a bunch of rockets, and after a few more imprints... Oh.
What was that?
A dude locked out.
Oh, is he just logged out, is he? So, yeah, I'm going to whistle that in, yeah?
Yeah.
And I'm going to drive the rock.
There's a Maguana coming in right now.
Oh, yeah.
Tribe of Ivar. He may have seen us. I don't know if he did see us.
I got shot by plants a little bit then.
Alright, Stego's here, mate.
I could do with moving some into the back ones, though.
Okay.
That bass is almost dead.
Is he on a Stego?
There we go, it's dead.
Bring some fire arrows, mate.
Right.
He's tanking the turret. He's tanking the bow.
I'll be as quick as I can.
He's backed off because I'm compound bowing him. Oh, I thought he was going to shoot it, aren't they?
as well drive closer to him, aren't I?
He's tanking it with his own turrets.
Right, should we go in with stickers?
Yeah, man. One at a time. One at a time, go on, Cap. You'll burn the door then. Right, go on, just push for that door, mate.
Stuck on something.
This is insane.
What am I stuck on?
Go on, mate. Are you at the Jenny?
I'm hitting it. It should be up there. That way.
Turrets down, turrets are down, turrets are down, turrets are down.
Is there still a turret up? I'm sure that got shot then. Or is it just the plants shooting it?
I can't tell.
Just the plants. Maybe use the stego tail.
Yeah, I'm on it. Trying not to get away from each other.
I'm not getting shot by plants here.
Yeah. Coming back to you for mate boost.
I hit him off then. Yeah, I've hit him on back a couple of times.
Coming to you.
Can just get a couple more shots on him.
Right, kill his bloody Rex, man.
You had C4 on him, I think, a little bit. Not much. More rockets.
Rex is dead. Bled out.
Cool.
Alright, let's get rid of these
Got a good
X-plants.
saddle.
Oh, thank God for that.
Get one of these on it.
Nice. Fireman's already on the move. Oh, there's all those X-plants up there. Do you want to go? Where do you want to go? Do you want to go right or what?
Well, we're going to have to go right to get up to the top, aren't we?
3 of them on me?
3 of them. He's trying to boiler.
Right. They're all on neutral. I'm going to try and pull them back to the. Try and pull them back to the thing. There we go.
I'm in the way of the other one.
Yeah.
We need to get out of where so turrets can see it. I've got a few things on me here. I've got 2 stegos and a big one.
Coming back.
Leading me out with these stegos. I've got no stem.
Nice. That's the entrance done.
These dudes are walking around with C4 but no detonators.
Oh, Spider, come on. Get busy.
Oh, let's get in. Open it.
Up to you if you want to take him down. Yeah, you're at 8 mate boost.
He's going back up to you.
Yeah.
Oh, I've got these fire arrows here still. Forgot about them.
Nice.
That might scare him a bit.
Yeah, he just jumped off. I'm looking a bit ropey now. I need to.
I can tank a bit if you need.
Can we get him down to the turrets? No.
You can try again. He turned round before I got there.
Oh right, okay. No, I got it on the bleed. Spider's on the bleed.
Right. There we go.
Right, onto his Rex.
There we go.
What we got now? Pyro mains to the water, mate. To the water.
We can get out of the water if we go in, can't we?
Right, they block me. I'm blocked, and the stego's burning bad.
I'm coming. Hang on, I'll see if I can Are you good? You got there?
Yeah, I got there, I mean.
Hang on, I might be in trouble here.
Yeah, I'm good. My stego's looking ropey though now, dude.
There we go. How ropey?
Like, I got 6k health. Alright. Do you want to make a push? Do you think we got more to come? When it comes to the spine, I get at the water. Hydrate buff. What's this Argy doing?
Argy doing? Let's have a look what's going on.
Right.
We need to be careful they don't get generator set back up. Oh, it's not. That one's not pin coded, which means probably the others aren't pin coded.
Alright. No, they're not. Oh, he left stuff on neutral. Oh, screwing! Oh no! That's it, Spino's dead.
They tanked well though, haven't they?
They've tanked really well. Good grief. We got the action we
All them
wanted.
plants at the start.
Yeah.
Don't know about tanking this.
I'm out of flame arrows. You can't rocket rush it?
I ain't got a rocket.
Alright, rockets. Okay, well we really do need to refill then. What, are we going to get into their base?
A few inches later.
I think that is a filer on me. Oh no, I got shot! Crap!
You dead?
No, I'm not. They got shot. I thought I got shot. Oh my god. I'm pulling them into the turrets. Stego is looking ropey.
Oh, there you go.
Pulling everything to the turrets. That Stego's done. We just killed them both. I need to spare cryo to heal this bloody Stego quick. Their bodies are down there, mate, out there. We should get their gear quick. Oh, they just whistled them back. Damn it. Ah.
You know what we've got that might work for the Plant X? Cluster grenades.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Because, like, it won't matter whether we ride them or not. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, he's got turrets. That might be a problem.
This is Argy's dead. This Argy's on the verge of death. Going for Bola.
Did he kill himself?
No.
Or is he still alive?
He's dead. Got him. Oh, he's got gear. He's going in the water.
Followed.
I just got loads of gear off him as well. Get it all back, yeah. Hey, they got... What's all these maps they got? What the hell? Are we ready to make a push?
Yeah, just a sec.
Ah, GG. Hey. Love it. Oh, GG. They're good sports, man. And a big GG to Ivar. Absolutely great sports that enjoyed the online raid and definitely had a crack defending as best as they could. The drums in particular was a touch of excellence. And with them letting us take as much loot as we needed and obviously kept what we could for them to hopefully stick around, we made off back on our raft, finding a logged out dude that the turrets were targeting and thought, well, we might as well blow that one up as well. And turned out there was a bunch of metal in there, so got our stock back up from the metal that we'd put into that raid just recently, and turned out Las Chapitas were definitely looking for us. And rightly so, because we just built a box all the way into their base. So it was time to consider another stab, and we really needed fighters now. So there is, we found a good breeding pair. We get raising them, a bunch of them, as we're leveling Stegos to cryo and heal for later, and flying around running drops. I got shot by a bunch of turrets, which turned out to reveal a cheeky hidden base where Bacchus was, so there didn't seem to be too much. But then when we are through the vault, loot for days. Loot! So after showing Cap everything we'd accumulated, we decided we needed more metal to prepare a much bigger raid at Las Chapitas. So we went scoping other bases, because why farm for metal, eh? We might as well just get metal off other people. Cap found one base called Tribe Dick and Doof that seemed to be worth the crack, and I found another one that I showed Cap that seemed a little bit easier and looked like they had been farming well. So seeing a blind spot to set up a small fob. We come back with our stegos ready for an online hit as we notice the dude fly out of his base to go drop farming or something, so think, well, it'd be rude not to.
Watch your player health as well, remember. You want to go left, I'll go right, but try not to stay too far apart.
Right. Just try and stay on.
That sounded like something went down there.
Okay. Top Jenny then.
Still powered by something.
Let's get the Jenny at the top.
You are?
Get the Jenny at the top, do you think?
I threw the thing up there, it didn't work.
That's it.
There we go.
We're on.
It was down here.
Blow, blow, blow. Oh, there it is.
That's that down. Oh, there's loads of poly in here.
Dude, it's unlocked, man. I've got all the cryos.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Is there many cryos?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. Do you want to get them out of here? No.
Yeah. Mail for days, even more cryos, and then thought, well, we might as well use his arches to load up all the arches with all the mats that we just got, all the metal from this base, and took all those back. As the dude came back from his, I'm guessing, drop run to see his base in smithereens, and then died to his own wrecks that we'd raided. With a giant amount of loot, having to punch Cap all the way back into base to get it in there, it was back to imprints once again, and notice, with everything we'd raided up until this point, the cryo fridge was now full, so had to do a bit of sort out of the cryos that we didn't want, and thought maybe it's about time we made the ultimate tech suit, so went polyfarming penguins up in the north, and then made our tech suit, baby, and thought, wouldn't it be a cool idea if we dropped all of these useless cryos that we don't want to some new Bob in some epic tech suit fashion style? So go flying around to try and find someone, nearly died to turrets, so already broke that tech suit like a dum-dum, needed to repair that. And then thought there's a thing that the PvPers do to conserve element, this PvP glitch where you use a structure to kind of tech punch your way up, and it was kind of interesting to know. I kind of figured that out. Couldn't find any bobs to give these cryos, so we thought, well, back to it with metal in the bucket load. It was time to prepare and hit a bigger target. We planned to Dark Tribe, only to find he'd just been raided a mere few hours earlier by Las Chapitas. Come on. And then scouting around to see the shell of the base and what remained, we noticed in the log that other tribe that Cap was planning to raid later on were already being raided by Las Chapitas. So we bombed it over there as quick as we could, being just too late, but thought we might as well scavenge what bullets we could from the bags that were left. But Dick and Duff, who weren't too happy about being raided, were watching us and decided to tell their raiders that we were in their base scavenging all of the scraps. So we had to bail just as the tech man started flying in with a tech rifle. And knowing that Las Chapitas were probably the alphas of the server by now, way more advanced than anyone else, and beating us to any raid we could get our hands on, we had to definitely try them again. But knowing that they were looking for us too, we find their motorboat that they'd hit Dark with previously, that Cap had planned to build something similar to raid Dark with, and think, well, we might as well blow that to see if there's anything in there. There wasn't, but they weren't too happy about that. But what were we going to do to raid them? Because turned out since the last time we were down there, that base was looking chunky, covered in turrets. So Cap goes back to the drawing board whilst I go and grab a high-level Moser with a Tuzo, because thinking maybe we'll use a platform saddle for something maybe. But most definitely, anyway, we were going to hit them, we were going to need a fob, and because it's underwater, we were now most certainly going to need vacuum compartments. So, with an army of Theris being raised over a few days, we went and tamed a Yeti, and then found the seemingly quietest island map on the cluster to set up a spawn and get farming all of the apex drops with a Wyvern. Sadly, there was no Giga spawn at the moment, so we just focused on Utis, Rexes and Allos, and then took a break to go to the quietest center server to run the artifacts needed for Dragon, which was Cunning, Skylord, Immune and Strong, all easy enough to get on this center server. And then whilst over there, thought, well, let's provide as many fob opportunities as possible, and found a 150 Shasta, so had to be done. We went and tamed that. But forgetting you needed a dolphin and kibble, Cap popped over with that and we tamed the thing with relative ease. So all done there, it was back to the island to see that a Giga had spawned. So after killing Basilos and Tuzos to farm up those Apex items, we went and Lightning Wyverned the Giga for the last remaining piece we needed to face Beta Dragon. The only problem was, whilst we were still waiting for the Theries to grow up, we needed to store all of this stuff and really worried if a PvPer was going to find any of our fobs or the storage box that I was going to put all of this stuff in. I thought, well, we're going to have to do it, turn all of those dirty iron eye settings on just to make sure this box was as hidden as it possibly could be. And my God, these iron eye settings are disgusting. Wildcard, fix it, come on. There's no need. With the Theries all raised, we took a day to just simply mind wipe our character for craft skill and made the best possible Theory saddles we could, and then went off to make veggie cakes. Easy enough to do with a natural veggie patch and a stray us to get lots of veg there. Off to the light redwoods to chop those trees up for sap and beehives, whilst the poly cave was overtaken by Lost Chapitas at the time. We still found a bunch of beehives in the light redwoods, so tamed a bear to get farming that, but obviously honey spoils super quick, so needed a way to store the honey and thought, well, fishing rods is the way to do it, so we did that. Loaded up a bunch of fishing rods to make sure the honey didn't spoil, and gonna slap down a cooker at base to make our veggies. All done, cooked up, 5 per theory, hopefully enough for Beta. And with Cap getting on, we bombed it back over to the island, finding it this time being super busy. So really no messing about as we set up a cryo fob, tribe up with Cap and uncryo all the theories as quickly as we possibly can. Sneak over to a drop that's fortunately spawned right by us. And well, it went closer than we thought it was gonna. Right, whistled. Right, I'm on a theory now. Wait for it, and we're on. Let's go.
But it's got stuck on. Need to move this Utah. That looks like it might be getting bloody already. Oh, I forgot to put those veggie cakes on it.
Oh, did you? Where are the veggie cakes?
On me.
You might get lucky. Oh, too late.
Nah.
Watch your back.
Oh, I walked into that.
I can't even see his life, mate. I'm shaking. We need this to work. We need them vacuums.
We do. We need them.
Oh, come on. It's so close to going down, though. Come on. Come on, no, there it is!
Yes!
Oh,
go!
Yes. Oh, thank God. Right. Yeah, dude.
Oh, man.
Met Bruce. But done! Even forgetting to saddle up the Dino, we did it. Beta Dragon down, tech unlocks for days, vacuums unlocked, transmitters, force fields, everything we needed, or hoped we needed, to take on Los Chapitas. So finding a cheeky drop to get us back to Australia, we go taming Diplocauluses for a plan that Cap had set. And after finding a way to force our camera into their base to see all the redesigns they'd done and all the tech and cryos are waiting, good grief, the loot was there in the bucket loads. And confirming to us where their Jenny was, Cap showed me that there was a cheeky little tactic he had in mind, being able to turn vacuums invisible. And so with that set up and ready for the plan tomorrow, it was time to set up a fob nearby, looking for a cheeky crack nearby their base. Found one, it looked good, we set up there. With all of our raid gear moved over to our fob, it was one last camera check to make sure we were not going to be disturbed, and set up the Shasta the Cap used to snap foundations from the original vacuum to create supports to lower the Shasta to bring the supports down without needing to destroy any spam, which is, yes, mind-blowing stuff. I just about understood how this was working. But Cap did note, if that Shasta moved at any point, the whole build was going to collapse. So it was on to phase 2, as there was a cheeky crack we could get a Diplocaulis through, and Cap got through there, building piece by piece to create a box all the way through this tunnel down to their base, using walls, slopes and ceilings for this tunnel to get us right up and close to easily tech rifle and make our way in. But as Cap was placing the final pieces, this random dude came by who wasn't even part of the raid. It was just a random dude, and must have bit the Shasta because so our great plan foiled by a random knob end. And we thought, well, in desperation, there's an alternative plan, but we needed more vacuum, so we went and made them, whilst Cap decided to destroy the spam to allow us to build down with more vacuum compartments. And obviously in doing so, logs destroyed, it's going to happen. The tribe saw us, so we left the invisible vacuum compartments there to go back and think of a new plan. Unfortunately, at this point, it seemed that Los Chapitas had kind of cut and done. Well, it was kind of obvious there if we'd tried to destroy their spam, and never logged off, giving us no time to try and get back down there. So, thinking we could find a way to keep them distracted, we go for their fobs instead, starting with their polyfob, luring their creatures away to make sure nothing aggressive was going to interfere with the plan. And seeing that they had a stego, I did notice a new up-and-coming big tribe just over the other side of the map and thought, well, why don't I start a little war between them by picking up their stego and dropping it over there. Turns out there was more to this than we thought. So knowing they were going to be a bit on the ball with that polyfob, we go hit other ones. First, their flint fob in the northwest. Pretty easy to do. With a few pieces of wood in place, job done. One fob down, an element and bullets for days. Moving on to their safe berry fob, we got that close, we were ready to pop, and then they TP'd in and caught us in the action. But thought, screw it! They're going to be back to try and foundation spam that area, so let's set up a trap. Sadly, with the turrets being just a bit too close and the grapples not just doing what grapples are meant to do, we never got any gear out of that. But hey, most definitely widened them up even more with a few cheeky snipes. And then after scouting for even more fobs, finding one over at Lava Islands that somebody had beaten us to it, thought, screw it, I'm going to go back and try again. And well, this time was successful. And obviously by this point, we've made ourselves known as the local trolls, with Los Chapitas looking for us everywhere, even going and destroying every single resource at our base to see if we had anything hidden there, but seemingly unsuccessful, not knowing it was a giant bunker's worth of loot right under their noses. So the next day we noticed there's a bunch of turrets now set up at the top of their base. So there's only one way about it, got to start tanking, and with some new tamed Archelons, get tanking away, going back and forth to our owl in our vacuum compartment to heal up in between tanking. And after feeling we'd soaked enough, move our way back over to the polyfob to have a crack at that, building a big parkour course. Definitely one of my favourite builds, as Cap built up a second tower and us almost ready to synchronise shooting both towers at the same time, but foiled again. Damn it. So we waved goodbye to Los Chapitas as we turned our attention back to their base. Bringing in our donkey now that we tamed a few days ago whilst we're waiting for their owl to heal the Archelons. Careful to not get shot to alert them at the same time. We've done it, soaked all of the heavies, but now time to turn our attention to the tech turrets. With the Archelons struggling because with every time they got shot, they got launched a mile away, and the donkeys getting hurt too much, I'd remembered that you can kind of tank tech turrets without even needing a tank, just being on foot. Turns out I found my calling, naked tech turret tanking. And with seemingly all of the initial tech turrets tanked that we needed, we went and farmed some more black pearls to make some more vacuums. Whilst Cap developed a brand new plan using carts on a turtle. Insanity. As we tested it with me in it initially, and it didn't kind of work, but what the hell? How is this a thing? And I'm sure after this video, it's probably going to be patched, with us attempting a bunch of tests to see if we could keep me contained within this box cart, but it didn't quite work, and we thought, well, we'll try it with a Megalania instead to see if that could work. But nah, anti-cheese proof. No joy. But never fear, Cap's got a new building plan here as he decides to extend the foundations from the invisible vacuums that we placed a few days ago. So knowing that they knew we were going to attempt to attack from above, we went searching for other fobs of theirs because we were sure there were other fobs and found, well, quite a few. One that seemed to be used for maybe a raiding attempt earlier, but hey, free element is free element, right? Can't say no to that. And decide, well, screw it, let's have another crack whilst Cap builds, and I'll try and keep a close eye with a tech helmet, watching them intensely for any movement for hours whilst Cap's building. And then of course, if I can see them with a tech helmet, they can see me, right? Well, they did. But luckily we saw the tiniest red dot hurtling towards us, giving us just enough chance to get the hell out of there. But with the pressure on, as Cap's build still existing off this invisible vacuum compartment, Cap scrambles to undo this giant wooden wall to not give us away, and just about got away with it as we move the carbo away from base because we need to use it for supports later. Knowing that they were going to be on high alert for now, we go scouting around, find a old base from Dale Boys and decide to hit that for a few arbs. Decide to epic glide all the way back to our base from the top of the skybox, and then go looking for other fobs in the knowledge that they were TPing to other fobs we weren't aware of. And after finding a decent sized one that looked like it had already been raided, I found a really hidden one tucked away breeding Tuzos, Gigas and Dreads down there, and thought, whoa, gotta get involved, try and steal a gig out with their Iguana. So after tanking a tech turret on foot by dodging it left and right, we bobbed it in with flippers to hit the Jenny, job done. Another chunk of alien arbs, and then forgot you can't claim gigas with Meguanas, damn it. So thought, screw it, let's go on a meat run. And then the next day, Cap had forgotten to kill himself before logging off to find out he'd been imprisoned. So needed to be rescued from their polyfob as we bombed it over on a stego with extinguisher grenades, and was pretty painless there, killing Cap because he'd been tied to a chair. But hey, got even more orbs out of it. And then scouting around even more, we found their massive breeding fob, confirming these were most definitely the alphas of the server. But feeling like they were TPing to even more areas, went scouting even more and found, remember that tribe earlier that we dropped the stego in? Well, they decided to merge with that tribe, meaning the already alphas of the server were now even bigger alphas, meaning we were heavily outnumbered now, and they were never gonna give us a break. So after attempting to hit another fob, this time their meat run fob, where we got caught in the action just in the moment as they logged and thought, well, screw it, we'll use the old cheeky hidden battery-powered turret again, and it worked. We go back to the base to give it one last try, in the knowledge that they were always going to see us at some point. And sadly, Cap ran into a bunch of issues as he was building down, but he got there all the way down to the bottom, right back to where he'd built before, but we got caught yet again. So in some valiant effort to try and distract them, bombed it over to their breeding fob to try and enrage their gigas, and realised I shot the wrong dino and instead shot their Bronto, damn it. And then quickly went and killed some Tuzos of theirs. It was never going to happen. We were completely outnumbered, outgunned, all of our little bits that we built around their fobs all gone, destroyed. And in the knowledge that we knew we were perhaps this server's alpha's biggest menace, it was going to happen eventually. They found it. A month later, our Skyquets have been found, all killed, the replicator gone, all dead. And they decided to blow everything at our base, making a huge crater with nothing left apart from the bunker. It remained hidden right up until the end, right up until this point. And still, as this video goes out, this bunker still remains. 100 days achieved living in a bunker with no turrets. Unofficial, storing cryofridges, tech dedicated storage, and an arsenal of gear, being visited by so many players, being literally raided to its core, and still remained 100 days later. With a wonder when this video goes out, how long it'll last after this. But I hope you've enjoyed this. Make sure to go and support Cap. Cap's going to have a giant video out about this too, and I'm sure a much better edited one than mine. So go check him out. I'll leave a link in the description. It's been fun. It's been long. This has been well over a month of recording, taking way too much time. I don't know if I'll do anything like this ever again. It depends how many people enjoy this. So you know what to do. Hit that like button. Until the next one, my name is Raasclark. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, peace out.